Good morning, everybody. This morning we're joined by Beto O'Rourke. He came on early this morning to join us on TV. Thank you for doing that.
Of course, my pleasure.
Okay, why are you here in Dallas? Tell me, what's the one objective?
I want to bring the people of this community, of North Texas, of this state, of this country together to stand up against fear and hatred and racism, and to stand up for the best values and traditions of this country. So this evening, 6 p.m., we'll be in Grand Prairie at the theater at Grand Prairie to make sure that each one of us can stand up to be counted at this defining, decisive moment of truth. You have the President of the United States here as well at that same time, someone who's been trafficking in racist tropes, who's been trying to make people afraid because they don't pray like or look like or love like the majority in this country. We're going to stand up for everyone, and we're going to stand up together in a way that I hope makes everyone here in Texas really proud.
You're talking about philosophical ideas, and I actually do agree that there's two main motivators. There's fear and there's love. But these are big ideas. People do want specifics. Is that a struggle to lay that out when people are asking for that? Because it can also pigeonhole you at the same time.
I'll give you some specifics. You know, a president who describes Mexican immigrants as rapists and criminals, or who's talked about asylum seekers as other animals or predators, and has used words like invasion and infestation, that racism and hatred that he's brought out into the open, and then directed towards communities like El Paso, where 22 were killed by a gunman with an AK-47 who was using the very same words that the president had used. We know there's a cost and consequence to Donald Trump. We know those counties that have hosted a Trump rally have seen a dramatic increase in hate crimes. El Paso, the most visible. We saw him in February. We saw a killer there in August, but we see this across the country. So standing up specifically to that kind of hatred and the violence that it inspires is so important, literally, to save lives, but also to save this country. I mean, part of the genius of America is that we chose to define ourselves by the proposition that we were all created equal and are owed equal respect and dignity and opportunity under the law. We've never had a president who has defied that until this one right now. So it's incumbent upon all of us in this democracy to stand up against him, against that, and to stand up for what we really believe in.
I asked the Trump campaign this. I said, obviously he's got really passionate critics, as do you. I think this is the times that we're living in. How do you speak out your truth directly, the way you see it, but be inclusive or respectful at the same time? Is that a possible line to walk?
Absolutely, and I'll give you an example of the result of that. By traveling to every one of the 254 counties of Texas over the last couple of years, at the end of the day on election night, not only did we win more votes than any Democrat had before, we won independents for the first time in decades, and we also won the votes of nearly 500,000 Republicans here in Texas. And to your question, we did that not despite, but I think because of a progressive agenda, and one that included talking about impeachment more than 2 years ago, saying not because of Donald Trump or the party to which he belongs, but someone who so openly breaks the law in this country, if there are not consequences, we will have set a precedent that some people are above the law. And whether you're a Republican or a Democrat, that is not something that we can abide in this country. We've got to stand up for the Constitution, our democracy, and every single one of us. So I think that is a unifying message. It brings you in regardless of the differences.
Final question for me. If you had to boil it down to one thing, one sentence, even one word, what is your intention or your message or reason for running?
I want to bring everyone in this country into the success of this country. That means that if you're working 2 or 3 jobs right now, I want you to be able to just work one. Focus on that and being with your family. I want you to be well enough because we have universal, guaranteed, high-quality health care. I don't want you living in fear if you come from a mixed immigration status family. I want to legalize the presence of your parents so that they can continue working hard and contribute even more to our success. And then the biggest challenges, like climate change, bring us all in and together on the solutions. Allow America to rise to its full potential and full promise, and let's do it together.
Fantastic. Thank you for joining us this
Thank
morning.
you.
I appreciate
Very
it.
grateful.
All right, best of luck today.